To know that Gandhiji was not allowed to draw the water from the well or to take the water from the well, as the servant had considered him untouchable. Gandhiji decided to go to Muzaffarpur, which was en route to Champaran. En route means on the way to Champaran, to obtain more complete information about condition than Shukla was capable of imparting. Imparting means telling. So Gandhiji decided that before going to Champaran directly, he should stay at Muzaffarpur to get more information about the seriousness of the problem. He accordingly sent a telegram to Professor J.B. Kriplani of the Art College in Muzaffarpur, whom he had seen at Tagore's Shantiniketan school. The train arrived at midnight. 15th April 1917, Kriplani was waiting at the station with a large body of students. Large body of the student means with a large number of students. Gandhiji stayed there for 2 days in the home of Professor Malkani, a teacher in the government school. It was an extraordinary thing in those days. Underline it. The question might come in a statement form also or in a form of question, that it was an extraordinary thing in those days. Gandhi commented, for the government professor to harbor means give shelter, a man like me. In smaller localities, the Indians were afraid to show sympathy for advocates. Advocates means tale of home rule. So what happened? In Muzaffarpur, he stayed in the house of Professor Malkani. Professor Malkani was working in a government organization, and knowing very well that he would be punished for helping Gandhiji, who was freedom fighter. In spite of that, he allowed Gandhiji to stay in his house for 3 days or for 2 days. And that's why Gandhiji was saying that it was an extraordinary thing during those days. The news of Gandhi's advent and the nature of his mission spread quickly through Muzaffarpur and to Champaran. Quickly the news spread that a Mahatma has come to liberate them or to free them from the landlord. Sharecropper from Champaran began arriving on foot, and by their conveyance means whatever they could come on, to see their champion. Gandhiji was their champion. Muzaffarpur lawyer called on Gandhi means they came to meet Gandhi to brief him. They frequently represented peasant groups in court. They told him about their cases and reported the size of their fees. Size means amount of the fees. Gandhiji chided the lawyer. Underline, very important line. Chided means scolded, criticized the lawyers for collecting big fee from the sharecropper. He said, I have come to conclusion that we should stop going to law court. Taking such cases to the court does little good. Where the peasants are so crushed means exploited, and fear-stricken, law courts are useless. The real relief for them is to be free from fear. Underline. So what happened when Gandhiji was in Muzaffarpur? Lawyers came to meet Gandhiji. They told Gandhiji that they are fighting for the sharecropper against the landlord, and for that they are charging the fee. Gandhiji was very angry. He scolded and criticized the lawyers and told them that on one hand side, the farmers were being tortured by the landlord, and on the other hand, you are charging them a huge fees. And then he also felt that going to court is useless. It is not going to do anything to the sharecropper. He wanted that the sharecropper should be free from fear.